All right, thanks, Rob. And then there was one. That's right. The final game of this triple header features Boston College out of the ACC against VCU out of the A10. And moments ago, Shaka Smart addressed his Rams in preparation for this one.
Terrific opportunity out there, and we are ready to seize it. We're ready to go after it. We're going to have a lot of fun playing our way, our style of play. And a big part of playing our way is unbelievable amount of sparks, unbelievable amount of encouragements. Guys, that will not change from game to game. Did an unbelievable job that last game. Let's do it again. All right, now, another part of it is continue to go after them no matter what. No matter what. Now, if you're ready to be the aggressor, each of you guys, stand up. That's what I thought. We're ready to go do it together. Everybody in, let's go. Let's go. Get it. Go, man. 15 aggressors, 40 minutes. Take them out. Kill on 3. 1, 2, 3. Kill. Let's go.
Justin Kutcher alongside Tariq Turner, and Tariq, that style of play is known as havoc, and it wreaks havoc on opponents.
Well, it's not just a mindset, it's a culture, and the way they play offensively and defensively really makes it difficult because of the pressure they put on the full court press and the way they speed the game up in transition.
So what are you looking for Boston College against this VCU team?
Well, the X factor for VCU is Juvonte Reddic, and you know, he's the guy who's the X factor because of his rebounding and scoring. He gets them going with his high motor, his physicality, his ability to control the middle and the paint is really the difference maker down low. On the other end, Ryan Anderson, the versatile big man for BC, can step out and face you with the full court game. He can also score down low. Excellent passer, versatile big man. He's a mismatch problem.
A look at the Boston College lineup coming in a record of 4-8. You mentioned Ryan Anderson, the other guy, Olivier Hanlon, averaging over 20 points per game. He's a big-time second-half player, averaging over 14 in the second half. And for VCU, 10-3. Briante Weber, Jordan Burgess, Travion Graham. I mean, we're going to see about 11 guys in the rotation for VCU here tonight. The head coach for Boston College is Steve Donahue. In his 4th season, took over after leading Cornell to the Sweet 16 in 2010. And for VCU, it's a guy who everyone knows now across the country. He's become a household name, Shaka Smart. He's turned down job opportunities at NC State, Illinois, just to name a couple. And he has done a remarkable job with this program. The officials for this 3rd and final game: Pat Driscoll, Brian O'Connell, and Jeff Anderson. VCU is in white. Boston College is in their maroon and gold.
The way VCU likes to play with this havoc, which we'll hear a lot about throughout the game, is up-tempo, fast out, 40 minutes of full-court pressure. They're going to try to shoot early in the clock. Conversely, BC wants to get good sets early with Hanlon on the ball screen, try to get some two-man action with Ryan Anderson in the front line.
And the tip, it's controlled by nobody, but it will be VCU basketball out of bounds off of Boston College. And the clock has to be reset to 1957. All right, got that taken care of. We're underway. Briante Weber will run the point here for VCU. Weber directing traffic.
And Weber is the point guard for this VCU team. He's the catalyst offensively, really controls the tempo. They're going to run a dribble drive offense to get some penetration in the paint.
Weber, shot clock at 8. Graham puts it on the floor. Kick out, corner. Burgess for 3, in and out. And the rebound by Ryan Anderson. Olivier Hanlon, the team's leading scorer.
Hanlon, very dangerous off the dribble, a combo guard, excellent at driving left or right, can also finish with the pull-up jumper mid-range.
Dragovic, the kick out, Patrick Hammond. Hanlon Nice sweep through his three, no good. And the rebound after a good box out by Juvonte Reddic.
One and done for VCU. They want to rebound and push and get the ball up the court as fast as possible.
Reddic, a 2 from 18.
There's a 6'9" senior. Versatility is the key to his game. Knocks down a 15-footer with good range.
Here's his full court pressure by Brandenburg. Anderson misses the bunny, out of bounds. Will stay Boston College basketball, and you can see the frustration on Ryan Anderson.
Well, he got a good touch, and you know, when he's one-on-one down low, he does a good job of finishing over either shoulder. Reddic with a good contest. Tough guy to finish over, 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan.
Rayon gets it down low to Anderson, who dunks this one.
It's a nice job, good post feed to Anderson, their best interior player. Finishes on the baseline.
Weber, the quick pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound for Alex Dragovic. Dragovic, the transfer out of Notre Dame, sat out last year.
VCU will play full court and half court man-to-man. They want to deny all wings, disrupt, and make it hard for you to catch it down low.
Dragovic for 3. Can't get it to go, and the rebound by Travion Graham. The corner 3, no good. Juvonte Reddic, the weak side rebound.
Nobody blocked out Reddic, and Anderson on the baseline got caught ball watching as Reddic kept the possession alive.
Brandenburg gets it down to Reddic. Graham left open for 3. That's in and out. Reddic, the offensive rebound again, and he gets fouled on the way up.
So far, Reddic is active on the glass, as we'll see Anderson with a nice catch. He follows it. He recovers it as he bobbled it at first, but good control. Finishes strong at the rim with the two-hand jam. And he's a guy whose versatility may be a problem for VCU because he can also face up as well as finish over either shoulder.
The foul was called against Alex Dragovic, his first, the team's first. At the free throw line is Reddic. Substitution now already. Melvin Johnson comes in for VCU. He replaces Rob Brandenburg.
Shaka Smart is going to shuffle in a lot of guys. The way they play, up-tempo, intense for 40 minutes, he has the luxury of going deep into his bench.
Going to his bench again. This time it's Jared Guest, as he'll replace Travion Graham.
When they make the foul shot, they set up their full court pressure. And this is where BC has to handle that pressure and not get trapped on the sideline.
Hanlon off of Guest, and it went off of Hanlon out of bounds, and it will be a turnover. VCU with the ball.
Well, that's where you're vulnerable.
They had 22 steals in their victory over Virginia Tech last Saturday.
Yeah, and what they do is they suffocate you with the ball pressure, and then they run and jump you and cause you to panic, as they did on that last possession.
Jordan Burgess, top of the key now to Guest. Johnson, the runner, off the glass. And the rebound out to Anderson. Gives it off to Hanlon. Hanlon going at the hoop, and he gets fouled on his way up.
Good explosiveness by Hanlon. Very good at changing speeds, explosive to the rim. ACC Freshman of the Year last year, probably the best scoring guard in the ACC. A lot of good guards in the ACC. Marcus Page from Carolina, Quinn Cook at Duke. To me, he's the best pro prospect of all of them because of his ability to score the ball and also shoot it from outside.
He dropped 41 against Georgia Tech last year, had 38 against FAU this year. Breonte Weber picked up the foul. He goes out. Jaquan Lewis comes in.
Well, Hanlon, you know, we talked about it earlier. He's been more aggressive in the second half, scoring almost 14 points in the second half of his games. But today, I think he has to be more aggressive early on to slow down VCU and beat this ball pressure.
4-3, Boston College leads. Brandenburg back in the game with the ball. Jaquan Lewis, the freshman from Dixon, Tennessee, calls out the play. Offensive foul called against Guest for a hooking. This is the 4th game for VCU against the ACC this year. They're 2-1. As they beat both Virginia and Virginia Tech, lost to Florida State. If they were to win this game, it would be the first time in VCU history they would have 3 wins against the ACC in 1 year.
Shaka's never been afraid to play anyone. He's typically had a tough pre-conference schedule. He believes that helps them prepare as the season goes on, and they've always shown improvement throughout the season.
Rayhan able to get over the timeline, being hounded by Lewis. Rayhan get a little push off. This shot is no good, and a rebound by Graham. Graham, European step through, but apparently he took an extra step because that's a travel.
Yeah, he took an extra step, and Graham, who loves to attack the rim, versatile forward, slashed, but he slashed with 1 step too many. Going back to BC.
Heckman all the way to the hoop, has it blocked by Mo Alley Cox, who just checked in. In the corner, Lewis for 3. That's an air ball. Olivier Hanlon. 4-3, Boston College leading. Hanlon the jab step. Turnover, steal by Lewis. Lewis doesn't have numbers, he doesn't care. Off the glass, no good. Rebound by Patrick Heckman. That was a 4th shot.
It was a good job in transition by BC because Lewis almost had a clear path, but good hustle by BC, stopping him, causing him to miss the layup.
Patrick Heckman, nice bounce pass for Anderson with a dunk.
Great pick and roll. As Anderson set the screen, he slips to the basket and finishes nicely.
Brandenburg turnover, VCU. Here comes Hanlon with the finger roll. Olivier Hanlon. And a timeout taken here by Shaka Smart. Boston College giving VCU a taste of their own medicine.
Well, the 2 stars are the ones that are carrying them. And, you know, Anderson and Hanlon have been the main guys. Hanlon with a nice roll slip to the basket. Good 2-man game. Anderson has been the catalyst, finishing strong at the rim with 2 dunks. And then Hanlon in the open court has been superb with his speed and his ability to finish over the defense.
Ryan Anderson averaging almost 16.5 points per game. Olivier Hanlon averaging 20.1 points per game. And right now it's a 5-point lead for Boston College. The next whistle will be immediate timeout.
You know, one thing to watch with BC is they're very good in the 2-man action with Anderson either rolling or slipping the screen. We'll see that a lot today. When they have shot clock situations, it usually comes down to Anderson and Hanlon playing 2-man pick and roll action.
Those 2 guys account for all 8 points, each with 4 so far. Melvin Johnson on the floor here for VCU. Johnson for 3, got it. Melvin Johnson, a sophomore from the Bronx.
He's instant offense. Coming off a career-high 27 points versus Virginia Tech. He has the green light to shoot the 3-ball when he has a look.
Weber, good defense on Hanlon. Garland Owens in for the first time here for Boston College. As is Eddie Odio. Shot clock down to 7 for Rayhan. Shot clock at 4 in the corner. It's Dragovich. Shot clock at 2, at 1. Shot clock violation, Boston College. And that brings us to a timeout. Melvin Johnson off the bench, averages 10.5. He's got his first 3. It's 8-6 Boston College. Boston College out of the ACC. They've got plenty of firepower to compete with. How about number 9, Duke? They've got the freshman wonder in Jabari Parker. Pittsburgh, Jamie Dixon squad off to a great start, 11-1. And Syracuse, number 2 in the country, led by preseason ACC Player of the Year C.J. Fair. They gave Villanova its first loss today, so Syracuse is now 12-0. Duke is 10-2. Villanova updated as 11-1. Don't forget Louisville lost to Kentucky. That's a big win for the young Wildcats.
Oh, no question. And, you know, this is a team that comes in with a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations with all the freshmen, Julius Randle, the Harrison twins, James Young. But it's an evolving process, and it's not going to happen right away. Coach Calipari usually gets his guys in prime time going into February.
2-point lead for Boston College here with just under 14 to go in the first half. Justin Kutcher alongside Tariq Turner. Game 3 of this triple header from the Barclays, and that is a travel against Jordan Burgess.
So far, BC is doing a good job of protecting the rim and cutting off penetration. A couple early turnovers. It looks like the Havoc philosophy offensively has caused VCU to rush a little bit and turn the ball over.
Joe Rayhan against Jaquan Lewis. Not an easy task for Rayhan. Rayhan. It's going to be an offensive foul. That's the second time we've seen him push off. The first time he's gotten called for it.
It was great ball pressure by Jaquan Lewis, who kept turning him, and he forced Rayhan into an offensive foul. As he extended his arm, he gets called for the push-off.
Checking in for the first time now is number 4, Terrence Shannon for VCU. They make more subs than a hockey team does.
I was looking at the game notes earlier, and it said that they've had over 115 different combinations at this point in the season. It's just amazing. Coach Shaka Smart has that many players that he can mix and match.
Travion Graham, the elbow jumper is good.
And that's his game. The mid-range pull-up is where he excels. Versatile forward, leads his team in scoring. They call him the freight train.
Good job breaking the press by Boston College. Lonnie Jackson, top of the key now. Anderson looking to take Shannon. Kick out in the corner. The 3 is no good by Garland Owens. Weak side rebound by Rob Brandenburg. Weber thought about the 3. Instead, he'll set up the offense from the top.
They really want to get into the gaps and penetrate, and Weber, who's more of a driver than a jump shooter, is trying to get in the lane.
Foul will be called against Ryan Anderson. That is the first against Ryan Anderson, and the team's 3rd. Graham, good jab step.
This is their dribble drive offense where they try to weave amongst the 3 guards and find a crack to get into the
Weber
paint.
leads it off. Shannon with a dunk.
And that's exactly what we talked about. Weber off the dribble drive, gets into the gaps. Nice dish for the easy one.
7-0 run here. There's Anderson saying, forget about that 7-0 run. His second dunk, he's got 6 points.
That's the best way to attack the press, is move it with the pass, not the dribble. Good ball movement by BC.
Brandenburg, a little shake and bake. Graham, the 3. Long rebound, Anderson. 10-10 here, 8 minutes in. Hanlon. Heckman gets through, short on the finger roll, and air ball. Weber able to save the outlet pass. Brandenburg, the 3 is good.
Brandenburg spots up, and good penetration by Weber. With his speed, he gets into the gap with a nice kick out.
Alley-oop was too high for Ryan Anderson from Patrick Heckman. 11:07 to go here in this first half. This Havoc.
That's what they do, get in the gaps and pull and drive for the easy finish.
Anderson, the answer off the press break. 3-point lead, VCU. 13-10, VCU leads BC here in the first half, and tomorrow Fox College Hoops continues as Georgia Tech battles Charlotte in the final non-conference game for the Yellow Jackets. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. And time now for our AT&T Impossible Feat. 1995, the UCLA Bruins won their record 11th NCAA title, but it wouldn't have been made possible without Tyus Edney's coast-to-coast buzzer beater against Missouri with 4.8 seconds to go. He banked in the winner, and they went on to win their 11th national championship. The O'Bannon brothers, Toby Bailey, and of course, Tyus Edney.
Yeah, what a run. Tyus Edney got up the court in lightning quick speed and finished that miraculous shot to give them the victory. One of the greatest guards in UCLA history.
Both teams started off slow. They're both heating up now. 3-point lead for VCU.
So far, BC has done a decent job of handling VCU's pressure. They do have 5 turnovers, but the good thing is VCU has not scored on any turnovers other than 1 basket.
BC in the zone now. Brandenburg into the corner. Johnson for 3. Too deep. Reddic had it knocked away from him into the hands of Travion Graham.
Reddic's going to be a handful on the offensive glass if Anderson doesn't block him out. He didn't get that rebound, but he kept it alive by tipping it to his teammate.
Reddic sets the screen. Brandenburg for 3. Got it.
Good ball movement to Brandenburg, and Brandenburg, who hasn't shot the ball very well up to this point, knocks down his second 3 ball, and that's a good sign for the senior from Cincinnati.
6 points for Brandenburg, 6-point lead for VCU. Good job breaking the press all the way to the hoop. Pretty take by Garland Owens.
And that's what you want to do, attack with strength and go strong to the basket.
Brandenburg just forces one up. Hanlon the other way. And he draws the foul, and that's going to go against Melvin Johnson.
It's interesting because BC is running right with VCU, and they're getting out of transition and making plays as we see Owens go to the rim strong, challenge the shot blocking presence, and finish at the rim.
The foul is against Mo Alley Cox. That is his first. And it's Ryan Anderson at the free throw line. Eddie Odio checks in with Alex Dragovich here for Boston College. Back in is Jaquan Lewis and Briante Weber for VCU.
Anderson is not real athletic, doesn't have great lift, but really skilled, good shooter.
Weber off the miss. Nice job by Odio back checking, got a piece of it, and that's out of bounds off of Dragovich. Boston College out of the ACC. Look at the teams they played non-conference schedule. Not an easy schedule for Boston College.
Oh, and a lot of people don't realize that they're 4-8, but they played a really tough schedule. Steve Donahue not afraid to play top-notch teams.
Johnson. Jumper's no good. And a rebound for Garland Owens. 3-point lead, VCU, under 9.5 to go here in the first half. Anderson has a mismatch. Realized it. Briante Weber stole it from him. I can't imagine what the offseason workouts are like for VCU.
Well, you know, it's interesting you mentioned that. They do something in the preseason, their last week of preseason conditioning called Hell Week, where they work out with the Navy SEAL team. I had a chance to watch it, and it is absolutely unbelievable the amount of conditioning they do.
Out of bounds, off of VCU, it will be Boston College ball.
Yeah, you talk about defensive pressure. No one's better at it than this guy right here, Weber, who leads the nation in steals, a premier ball thief, quick hands, quick feet. You almost can't dribble around him because he impacts the game so much on the defensive end. He forces so many turnovers.
I thought Hell Week was for, like, rushing fraternities.
I'm telling you, this is a different kind of Hell Week. This is one that is kind of caught fire by VCU ever since they won the Final Four. They've done it the last 3 years. And the great thing about it is Shaka Smart, the whole staff, the training staff, everyone is participating. And it's not just about conditioning, it's about team building, leadership, and it carries over into the season.
Turnover for Boston College. That ball is deflected, and it's going to be a turnover from VCU. 5th turnover of the game for VCU. They've got 5 turnovers. BC's got 7. Rayhan doesn't have numbers. He's going to pull it back out. Hanlon found Anderson. And another turnover. Burgess strong to the hoop. The follow, no good. Over the back foul called against Mo Ali Cox. 2nd foul against Ali Cox.
Yeah, Ali Cox, who is one of their high motor guys off the bench. Good effort. Too much contact over the back, and you know, VCU is not off to the start they want to be off to offensively, but they're not going to change the way they play. They're going to press, they're going to pressure, they're going to run and jump. And at some point, BC is going to have to figure out how to attack that press by getting the ball into the middle and score the ball.
Tough place to inbound right now here for Boston College. Cannot run the baseline. Well, they're kind of nice. They're getting it further away from the basket. Looking for the home run pass. They have it. Anderson loses it out of bounds. Another turnover. The 9th for Boston College.
Well, that's exactly why they have to get the ball to the middle. And here, they just rushed it. Anderson caught the ball cleanly, but shuffled his feet, goes out of bounds. Havoc causes havoc.
Burgess left open for 3. Anderson goes up high for the rebound. Boston College can tie with a 3. Rayhan looking for the screen. Anderson rolls. Hanlon doesn't handle it, and it's a turnover again, number 10. 3-point lead for VCU, 7:32 to go in the first.
We had
DirecTV game summary. 10 turnovers for Boston College, 6 turnovers for VCU. 3-point lead for the Rams. Justin Kutcher alongside Tariq Turner. And Tariq, if you're an opposing coach against VCU, do you kind of tell your team, hey, you know what, you're going to have turnovers, just move on to the next possession?
No, you're not. You want to avoid the turnovers if you can. And the main way to do that is keep the ball off the sidelines, get it into the middle of the court where you have options and you can't get trapped. That's where VCU thrives. When they can trap you, run and jump you on the sideline and use the sideline as a 3rd defender, then you're in trouble. And that's a big reason why BC has 10 turnovers.
Only 5 points off those 10 turnovers, though, for VCU. They had 42 points off of turnovers against Virginia Tech on Saturday.
And they also speed you up and make you play fast, which takes you out of your rhythm. BC has not gotten any good looks in the last few minutes.
Weber, there is that thief. Averaging 3.8 steals per game. Nearly did it again.
You see Reddic here fight for position. Down low, physical presence, he falls down. But they're trying to get the ball down low to him, keep him involved offensively so they have that inside-outside production.
Dragovic to inbound to Olivier Hanlon. Hanlon had 4 quick points, been scoreless since. Anderson against Reddic. Offensive foul against Anderson. That's number 2 against him.
Great job by Reddic, moving his feet, beat Anderson to the spot. Good lateral movement, takes the charge, and that's a big foul for Anderson. As you mentioned, his 2nd foul, he'll go to the bench.
He goes to the bench. Will McGarity comes in for BC, the freshman from Stockholm, Sweden. Johnson inside, puts it up, short, loose ball, chased down by Eddie Odio. VCU is 0 for the last 6 from the floor. Hanlon. Rayon got his man up in the air, didn't shoot it. Shot clock down to 8. Odio, good ball movement. Hanlon for 3. And the rebound for Juvonte Weber.
And now they're off to the races with the long rebound. They can push it and try to get an early quick shot in the clock.
Two-three zone set up here by BC. Melvin Johnson, top of the key 3. And the rebound for Olivier Hanlon. Hanlon leaves it off for Odio. Dragovic with the left hand able to finish.
Good job finishing Dragovic over Reddic, who went up for the block shot.
Reddic lost the handle, couldn't take the shot. Under 5.5 to go here in this first half. 1-point lead for VCU.
This 2-3 zone of BC, they kind of changed their defense from a man to a 2-3, kind of keeping VCU off balance and protecting the rim.
Reddic gets his man up in the air and has it blocked by Odio. Hanlon trying to go baseline, gets cut off, out of bounds, will stay BC ball.
Dragovic doing the right thing, attacking the rim with a nice jump hook, avoiding the block shot. They're trying to get the ball down low, VCU to Reddic, but a nice weak side shot block by Odio.
Substitutions, Lonnie Jackson in for Boston College, as well as Patrick Heckman. Odio to the hoop. He's able to convert, and Boston College goes up by 1.
Odio giving them a lift offensively with his quickness on the baseline.
7-0 run here for the Eagles of BC. VCU scoreless in the last almost 6 minutes. Lewis gets the screen. Kick back. Travion Graham for 3. And a rebound into the hands of Hanlon.
2-3 zone has certainly slowed VCU up in terms of getting to the rim, forcing them to shoot it from outside, which they have not done a good job of tonight.
Hanlon pulls it back out. Good hedge there by Terrence Shannon. Now the 3 from Odio is well off the mark. And a rebound for Melvin Johnson. VCU has missed their last 9 shots. Trailing by 1. Melvin Johnson now directing traffic here for the Rams.
Melvin Johnson, they call him the microwave because he's instant offense. Has been cold so far in this first half, but he's a guy who attacks the rim and has a great pull-up jumper.
Shot clock at 3 in the corner. Lewis at 1, puts it up and hits it. Big shot there by Jaquan Lewis.
Lewis, just a freshman, not afraid of the big moment. Uses his quickness to pull up on the baseline.
First points in almost 7 minutes. Hanlon, aggressive, has it taken away. Melvin Johnson wears number 32 for Magic Johnson. Had the high step going. Brandenburg for 3. Shannon the rebound. And he is on the baseline, out of bounds. Boston College ball.
Here's a possession, good penetration by Johnson. Pulls and kick, nice shot fake. Lewis creates some space, and with the shot clock winding down, that's a big shot for VCU to get back on the board.
They now lead by 1, 18-17, as Jaquan Lewis, the freshman, able to bail out his team and put his team back up by 1. During this holiday season, we would like to pass along our best wishes to longtime Boston College Assistant Athletics Director for Sports Information, Dick Kelly. Dick began working in the Boston College SID office as a freshman back in 1983, spending 23 years with men's basketball. He is currently battling ALS, but his sharp wit and love for Boston College never wanes. Dick Kelly, we're thinking about you. And right now, your Eagles trail by just one against VCU with 2:48 to go here in the first half. And don't forget, coming up at the half, we'll have the Fox College Hoops halftime update.
If you're VCU, you have to be happy with the fact that you're forcing turnovers, but on the offensive end, they haven't hit any shots, 3 of 14 from 3. And the way VCU likes to play, they have a few guys that have the green light. Brandenburg, Burgess, and Johnson, Melvin Johnson off the bench have been aggressive, but they just haven't been able to connect on those long balls. BC, if they can handle this ball pressure and not turn the ball over, they're in position to take the lead in this half.
And they're doing this with Ryan Anderson on the bench with those 2 fouls. Able to break the press.
I like to see Hanlon get more involved. In the early few minutes, he was aggressive getting to the basket. He's been quiet the last few.
Odio had the open, didn't take it. Shot clock at 9. There is Hanlon. Shot clock now at 5. Rayhan in the corner. The 3 is in and out for Heckman. The offensive rebound and putback no good. Lewis back the other way. Difficult angle for the entry pass. Gets bailed out by Briante Weber. Weber, that's going to be a traveling violation. Tonight, don't miss Fox Sports Live as the guys bring you all the highlights from a full day of college basketball, NBA, and the NHL. Fox Sports Live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1. Justin Kutcher alongside Tariq Turner here at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Game 3 of a tripleheader. Game 1, St. John's defeated Columbia 65-59. Game 2, K-State won easily over Tulane 72-41. And here, we've got ourselves a tight one, a one-point game. VCU on top of Boston College.
Again, with Anderson out of the game with 2 fouls, Hanlon has to be the guy to get them going offensively.
Odio. And we're going to have a traveling violation against Lonnie Jackson as he slipped. They're trading turnovers right now. 13-8. BC with 13 turnovers. VCU with 8.
It's a sloppy game on both ends, and Shaka Smart trying to find a way to get them some solid possessions offensively. The 2-3 zone has certainly neutralized VCU because they're all trying to attack the rim. Although they shoot the 3 well, today has not been a good day for them. 3 of 15 so far.
Jordan Burgess at the free throw line. Weber for 3. That can't go. Odio with the rebound. Hanlon gets a screen.
1 minute remaining to the first half.
Another steal, this time by Burgess. Burgess gets fouled, and that's a good foul by Garland Owens. That'll send Jordan Burgess to the free throw line.
Burgess with the quick hands. Gets a steal and is off to the races. Good job by the redshirt freshman getting to the rim.
Jordan Burgess, the brother of Bradford Burgess, former VCU star, now playing in Belgium.
They call him pound for pound the toughest player on this team. Great will to win, hard-nosed player. Shoots the 3, slashes to the rim, but more than anything, his defensive mentality is why he's on the court. He's a big part of this Havoc defense.
Able to make both his first 2 points of the night. 3-point lead for VCU. Under a minute to play here in the first half. And a timeout taken here by Boston College. 46.1 seconds left. 3-point lead VCU here in Brooklyn. Three-point game, VCU leads Boston College, and we're getting close to New Year. And of course, on New Year's Eve, we've got a full day of Big East basketball as the conference tips off. All 10 teams in action. St. John's versus Xavier kick it off. Marquette and Creighton will wrap it up. Gus and Rapp, they'll have the call of St. John's Xavier. Then they'll get on the bus and go to Villanova and Butler. I'll be to the nightcap. Marquette and Creighton. You'll be out in L.A. with Rob Stone, Austin Crozier in studio, keeping track of all the games.
It's going to be exciting. I mean, this is what you build up to. The first phase of the season is kind of getting a sense of rotations and how you want to play. And then now we're going into league play, which is a different era.
What does Boston College do out of the timeout? Hanlon has just 4 points. Those 4 points came quickly. Rayhan, spin move, elbow jumper. And a rebound for Juvonte Weber, and now VCU can hold for the final shot. Mentally, this is a big possession for Boston College. Big difference with a 3-point game or a 5- or 6-point game.
Absolutely. With BC in a man-to-man, look for VCU to attack the rim. Try to get something going to the basket.
Burgess in the paint. The scoop shot gets it to go. Pretty move by Jordan Burgess to close out the half. A 6-0 run by VCU to end this half, and they'll take a 5-point lead into the locker room.
Strong move by Burgess, who came on strong in the last couple minutes. Weaves his way in between 2 defenders off the dribble drive. Nice up and under finish with the English.
Jordan Burgess with 4 points in that first half. All 4 coming late in the half. As VCU leads 22-17 at the end of the first half. You're watching College Hoops on Fox Sports 2. Time here at the Barclays Center. Game 3 of the Brooklyn Hoops Winter Festival. VCU leads Boston College 22-17. Justin Kutcher alongside Tariq Turner. And Tariq, 14 turnovers in the half for BC, but they trail by just 5. If you're BC, you got to be pretty happy about that.
Well, a big reason they trail only by 5 is because VCU hasn't hit any threes. They're 3 of 15. And defensively, VCU has been good, but on the offensive end, they have not been able to get that havoc pace going in transition.
And really, if you think about it, also with all those turnovers, they haven't turned those turnovers into points.
Exactly, and that's what they drive off. 42 points they score versus Virginia Tech, which matches the school record. That's when they really kill you, when they get out in transition off the steals, but they haven't done that today. A lot of it has to do with BC getting back in defensive transition, and that 2-3 zone in the half court, it slowed them down as well.
And like you said, the 3-point shooting for VCU just has not been there in the first half as they shot 3 for 15. It wasn't pretty.
No, it wasn't. And a lot of them were open looks. They're going to continue to stay aggressive. That's part of the mindset and the way they played. They want to shoot when they get open looks, especially early in the clock. Brandenburg, Melvin Johnson, Juvonte Weber continue to attack. But if they don't score, they're going to try to turn BC over and score off their defense.
And you look at the stats from the first half, all 7 field goals for Boston College came in the paint. 0 for 6 from 3-point land. The turnovers, 6 more for BC, and points off turnovers, like we said, only 7 for VCU. It's halftime here in Brooklyn. Game 3 of the triple header, 5-point lead, VCU. (22-17) VCU leads Boston College as we get set to start this second half. Boston College, if they're going to win, they rely on a few big guys. Ryan Anderson, Olivier Hanlon, Joe Rohan, and Rayhan. Well, look at what they've done so far. Not much, however. Hanlon is a second half guy, averages 14.4 points per game in the second half. And for VCU, their leading guys also haven't done much.
No, and those are the big three right there in terms of scoring the ball. You know, Reddic seemed to be getting off to a good start early on, but he got kind of disappeared when they went into that 2-3 zone. Travion Graham has to be more assertive. He has to attack the rim, use his defense to ignite his offense. If his three ball's not going down, find other ways to impact the game.
VCU is in white. Boston College is in their maroon and gold.
It'll be interesting to see how these first couple minutes VCU comes out. Now that Anderson's back in, they have a guy that can be a press release guy for BC, but will they continue to run and jump and force BC into some turnovers?
Joe Rayhan picked up by Brandenburg, doubled right away, and they forced a steal. Here comes Weber. Weber, he gets that pass blocked by Patrick Heckman, who almost takes that on cameraman.
The first possession, they run and jump, and they cause a turnover, as we predicted. BC has to take care of the basketball, especially if they're not going to shoot well. They can't afford to have empty possessions.
15th turnover of the game for Boston College. Jordan Burgess to inbound to Travion Graham. Graham, that's a three, short. And the struggles from three-point land continue. BC has numbers if they go. Rayhan, transition three. Out of bounds, and it will stay BC ball.
Rayhan, who hasn't gotten on rhythm, he averages double figures. If he can make some shots, it takes the pressure off of Hanlon, because right now, VCU is really allowing Rayhan to shoot those open shots when he gets good looks.
Here is Hanlon with the ball. Heckman brings it back out. Shot clock down to 12. Hanlon against Burgess. Shot clock, he forced it up, got tricked by the fans. He thought the shot clock was running out, was expiring, threw up the shot, and he says, hey, it's my bad, my bad.
That's a great point. He absolutely got tricked by the fans. If they did the countdown, he should know better than that. Another good job by Burgess as well, getting a hand high, contested.
Brandenburg gets the screen, turns the corner, now with the left able to finish.
That's a nice drive by Brandenburg, who weaves his way into the lane. Athleticism is what he does.
Largest lead of the game here for VCU, a 7-point lead. Backdoor look, turnover. Graham. There's the European step through in the finish. And a timeout will be taken here by Steve Donahue. A 10-0 run here by VCU going back to the first half. 26-17 Rams. Tomorrow, Big East basketball presented by New York Life Insurance Company continues as Chicago State battles Creighton. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on Fox Sports 1. 26-17 VCU on a 10-0 run over Boston College as we now take a look at our Lexus playbook.
Here's an example of Havoc at his best. VCU scoring off their defense, and they collapse defensively and intercept the pass, and then they're off to the races. They push the ball in transition, and when they do this, they're awfully dangerous. Perfect textbook fast break out to the lane, and Travion Graham with the finish. It all starts with great ball pressure, the steal, leading out to an open fast break.
Rionte Weber, the guy who got the hand on it. And that led to the fast break here for VCU, and a timeout taken by Steve Donahue in Boston College.
For the Havoc to really work at his best, it's not just defense, but it's also offense. And in transition, VCU very good at finishing with their athleticism at the basket.
Heckman doesn't look comfortable on a double dribble.
And that's the Havoc again, the run and jump as Weber and Graham with a good double team causes Heckman to turn it over. And, you know, when you get sped up, you get out of rhythm, you get trapped on the sideline, then Havoc really unveils.
Brandenburg for three, no good. Weak side rebound by Anderson. By the way, BC has 17 turnovers. That matches a season high. We have virtually the entire second half left to play. Hanlon's been very, very quiet.
He has to find a way to get to the basket.
Shot clock down to 10. Rayhan. Hanlon for three. They need it. Can't get it to fall. Brandenburg the rebound. Here comes Weber. Weber. And that's out of bounds off of BC. Stays VCU basketball.
But that was a broken play, but this is the pace VCU wants to play. They want to speed it up, get out in transition. Weber with a good push. And when he gets in the gaps, good things happen. The momentum is certainly in VCU's favor now with the way they're playing more up-tempo.
Melvin Johnson checks in for VCU, and now Eddie Odio comes in, replacing Alex Dragovich for Boston College. Graham gets inside, loses it, gets it back, and he puts it up, and the foul.
That's his all strength. As he lost the ball, he recovers it in strong upper body, explosive under the rim.
Patrick Heckman is the player down here for BC.
Graham is a dangerous player, leads his team in scoring, can score in a variety of ways. Best when he slashes to the rim, lost control of it, but good second effort as he finishes it. Looked like Heckman tripped. Took a hard fall.
Graham cannot get the roll to convert the three-point play. 28-17. Rayhan able to break the press. Open for three. This time they get it.
Well, they really needed that. Rayhan, who hadn't hit a shot until then, had plenty of time to knock that one down.
Graham, kick out. Offensive foul. Rayhan draws the foul against Travion Graham. They call him the freight train. The freight train came in uncontrolled.
Rayhan with the big play on the defensive end. It's amazing when you make a shot, you get some confidence, you lock in on the defensive end and make another good play.
Burgess got a piece of it, knocked it out of bounds. Boston College ball.
Rayhan is waving to his teammates saying, hey, you got to help me get this ball in bounds. Don't just expect Hanlon to get it. It has to be 5 guys to help break this havoc press.
Garland Owens gets it off to Rayhan. They're waiting to jump up. Shot clock at 10. Rayhan. Anderson off the side of the backboard, and I think again the crowd got into BC's head. How about this finish? Juvonte Reddic in the foul.
Great push by Weber. And Reddic runs the floor and they reward him. Textbook fast break, and when they get off in transition, Weber does a great job making a decision. Look away pass. The speed is what really excels Weber in the open court, and Reddic does the hard part, finishing off the glass.
Reddick's got 5 points, averaging 11.5 per game. Preseason first team 8-10. Can't hit the free throw. Graham tries to chase it down. He's out of bounds on the baseline. And substitution, Mo Alley Cox comes in. He'll replace Juvonte Reddic. Also checking in now for BC, Lonnie Jackson. And that'll send Eddie Odio to the bench.
This second half has certainly been more the style of play that Shaka Smart prefers. Transition, baskets, open court, athletes running and finishing at the paint.
Ten-point lead for VCU. Anderson gets doubled. Able to find Jackson for three, in and out, and the rebound by Graham.
Another good contest by Lewis off the double team. He gets back out with a hand high.
Graham with a jump stop has that one deflected by Anderson, out of bounds off of VCU. 10-point lead for the Rams over the Eagles here, 15:47 to go. On Friday, it's a showdown between two of the most explosive offenses in the country as 13th-ranked Oklahoma State takes on 8th-ranked Missouri in the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. Coverage begins Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox. 10-point lead VCU here over BC, 30-20, and we go back to 2011. VCU barely made it into the NCAA tournament. People were wondering why they were in it. Well, they beat USC. Then VCU did the unthinkable. They won 3 straight, including a shocking regional final victory over Kansas. And the Rams' magical run ended versus Butler in the Final Four. Butler went on to lose to UConn and Kemba Walker in the national championship game. But what a year that was for Shaka Smart. And Shaka Smart, Brad Stevens became really the 2 hottest coaches in college basketball. And they repeatedly said no to other teams coming after him until finally this year, Brad Stevens said yes to the Boston Celtics.
And Shaka and Brad Stevens, as you mentioned, were 2 of the so-called pioneers of the mid-majors, elevating to the high platform and playing on the big stage. And certainly the world learned about Shaka Smart in this VCU program, the havoc style of play, and is carried over to today. Just a phenomenal job by Shaka.
And by the way, VCU has one of the better bands in the country.
No question about it. I agree with you on that.
VCU has a great band. George Mason has a phenomenal band. Good look for Hanlon, and Hanlon gets fouled. He will be going to the free throw line for 2.
That was the first time in the second half we've seen Hanlon get to the basket. Nice set. That was a set play, a backdoor cut. Good pass by Anderson. And Hanlon, he has to be more aggressive. We talked about his ability to score in the second half, averaging 14 points in the second half. But so far, he's shown no signs of asserting himself. A lot of it has to do with the VCU defense.
Well, you just saw that graphic. I mean, he's only attempted 5 shots on the night.
And he's an explosive scorer, so he could turn it on off of maybe even just these 2 foul shots, but he can't continue to wait and be so passive. He has to attack the basket and really use his speed to penetrate.
1 for 2 at the line, 9-point lead for VCU. Johnson gets the screen. Guess thought about the 3, didn't take it. Shaka Smart calling out the play to his offense. Allie Cox sets the screen. Johnson cradles, puts it up, got it in the foul.
Great job. You know, Johnson used the ball screen and weaved his way into the gap, and he's a scorer with a scorer's mentality. Nice job stepping through the gap and finishing with the runner. Johnson from the area. The strong upper body strength. He's a guy who really worked on his body in the offseason, talking to the staff. Got in phenomenal condition. Improved defensively, and you already know what he can do offensively with his ability to score the ball.
Converts a 3-point play. The foul was against Garland Owens. That was the 3rd team foul against BC this half. Dangerous pass into the hands of Owens. Anderson underneath, goes to the reverse, able to finish. Good footwork by the junior.
Good decision to use the rim as a shield and finish under with the reverse.
Johnson brings it back out. Johnson again cradling it as he goes to the lane, able to finish.
Great job with Lewis with the dribble handoff. That's part of the dribble drive where they penetrate and curl into the paint. Johnson starting to assert himself with the runner.
8 points in the ball game for Melvin Johnson. Shaka Smart down on his knees saying, get down, get down. Reminds me of watching Wojo with Duke. Rehan, the corner three, no good, long. Loose ball comes out to Hanlon. Hanlon with the left, got it in the foul.
Hanlon, second time we've seen him go to the basket. This is time he finishes with the left and the contact. Great finish by the sophomore. Using that inside-out dribble to get to the basket, shift the defense. Nice finish. Johnson asserting himself on the offensive end. Part of that dribble drive is getting into the gaps. Nice handoff, and Johnson with the runner.
Hanlon at the free throw line has 7 points. Now has 8. It's a 9-point game. Boston College needs a couple of stops here on defense. Jordan Burgess back in the game for VCU. Almost an entire new line. Deontay Weber is back in as well. Everyone is new except for Johnson. And that ball is knocked out of bounds off of BC. Will stay VCU basketball.
BC back into the 2-3 zone. This defense worked well for them in the first half. It took away the inside game, forced VCU to shoot the free ball, which they didn't do a good job of in the first half.
Johnson off the inbound. That jumper's long, chased down by Reddic, out of bounds, and it will stay VCU basketball.
You know, it's interesting, this offensive attack mode by VCU. They have multiple guys with the green light. On the court now is Burgess and Melvin Johnson, both looking to attack.
Graham from 14.
Such a versatile, dangerous mismatch. Graham, 6'6", strong, with a great pull-up game.
Travion Graham, he's got 8 on the night. And a foul away from the ball. That's against Melvin Johnson, his first, and the team's 4th here in the second half. Rob Brandenburg checks back in, replacing Johnson. It's almost like if a VCU player commits a foul, must mean they're tired, and they get taken out.
Well, Shaka's big on keeping his guys fresh, and what a luxury he has to play 10, 11 guys.
What a job right there. Triple teaming, and Reddic is a benefactor.
Unselfish play, and Reddic with the athleticism over the rim.
Largest lead of the game, 13-point lead. But how about them triple teaming Hanlon off the inbounds play? That forced the turnover. Hanlon, he gets fouled. He'll be going back to the free throw line. He's being much more aggressive and assertive here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, especially off the bounce, and you know, he's so quick and good at drawing contact. You know, he draws about 9 fouls a game, which is something the NBA guys like. You know, looking at Hanlon as a potential pro, he's probably going to be a first-round pick because of his ability to score the ball. And he's definitely asserted himself the last few minutes off the bench.
Short on the free throw. Eddie Odio and Patrick Heckman check back in here for Boston College. Olivier Hanlon out of Quebec. Seems like we're getting an influx of Canadian-born players in college basketball recently who are having a major impact on the sport. I mean, heck, Andrew Wiggins. He's Canadian, the star freshman for Kansas. A couple years ago, Corey Joseph at Texas. The corner three for Brandenburg rattles in.
Making the extra pass, Brandenburg, who shot the ball well today, knocks down his 3rd three of the game.
Heckman does not want to dribble the ball here against Burgess. $15-point lead for VCU. Another turnover. Brandenburg with a finish. And a timeout taken here by BC.
And that was Havoc at his best. Rehan got caught in no man's land as VCU suffocates him on the baseline. Nowhere to pass to. Havoc out in the open court, and Brandenburg does the easy part with the finish.
13 points now for Rob Brandenburg. 44-27. VCU leads Boston College, and havoc is wreaking havoc, especially here in the second half.
Well, they really turned it up defensively and been able to score off the turnovers, which they didn't do in the first half. But now they're starting to assert themselves and get out in the open court, run and jump, trapping, leading out to open fast breaks. And that's VCU at its best. When they're scoring off their defense, they're hard to guard.
How about VCU in this second half? 10 for 15 from the floor. 1 turnover.
And 10 for 15 from the floor, all high percentage shots. Transition basketball at its best. When they score off their defense, it's usually a layup or a dunk, and you've seen a lot of that in the second half. VCU's turned up the pressure with the run and jump and the traps.
44-17, VCU trying to break this one wide open. 2 timeouts remaining for Boston College, 4 for VCU. Odio trap, gets rid of it. Rayhan for 3. 1 for 13 now from three-point land are the BC Eagles. Lewis for 3. Reddic the offensive rebound and putback.
Big time rebound by Reddic. Rebounds out of his space and overpowers BC's front line. He's been a force down low with his size, his strength, his ability to get the ball off the rim and finish has been a difference maker in the second half.
Reddic, 9 points, 7 rebounds. VCU on an 11-1 run, now leading 46-27 over Boston College with 10:52 to go here in this second half. An 11-1 run for VCU, now leading 46-27, and the difference here in the second half, points in the paint for VCU.
Yeah, that's been a big part of their success in terms of getting the ball into the gaps, good dribble penetration by their guards, and also attacking the rim in transition. Travion Graham has been one of the key guys, but when they get the ball down low and score high percentage shots, particularly in the paint, they're a better team.
18-4 VCU over BC, points in the paint here in the second half. Reddic at the free throw line trying to convert the three-point play. And he does. Now 2 for 4 at the line on the night. And it's a 20-point lead for VCU. Another turnover. Johnson puts it in.
And that's where you're dangerous because they trapped the first inbound pass and intercepted it. Falling victim to the havoc. They have to get the ball to the middle to attack this press.
Anderson gets shoved out of bounds. That foul will go against Terrence Shannon. And that is the team's 6th foul.
And when you go up against the press the entire game, it just continues to wear on you. And fresh bodies keep coming in so they don't have any drop-off when they go to their bench. Shaka Smart has played at least 10, 11 guys tonight. And the pressure is just relentless. It's suffocating defense.
Another foul against Shannon, and that'll be number 7 against VCU, which will send Hanlon to the free throw line. A season high in turnovers, which is not really a surprise when you take on a team like VCU.
Well, this was the key stat to watch going into this game for BC. Can they handle the ball pressure of VCU? This havoc defense has taken them out of rhythm and it sped them up and disrupted their flow offensively.
You know, you mentioned how when you play a team that presses like this VCU team does for 40 minutes, it kind of reminds me of playing a football team with a big running back. You know, the first half, first 3 quarters, you may be able to stay in the game, but all of a sudden, all those body blows, they take their toll, and by the 4th quarter, they're just running wild on you.
Yeah, exactly, and VCU is not going to change their style, whether they're up 10 or up 30. They're going to continue to press for 40 minutes.
Shannon gets his own rebound. And this is out of bounds. Will stay VCU basketball.
It really reminds you of, as you mentioned earlier today, Arkansas's 40 minutes of hell, or even UNLV, when they had those great teams under Jerry Tarkanian where they pressed you for full court for 40 minutes and turned you over.
Lewis's three is no good. Anderson the rebound. Anderson backing down, little jump hook is short. Out of bounds off of Shannon. Remains BC basketball.
And Anderson has not been able to get in rhythm this entire second half. We saw him get himself going early in the game. He picked up those 2 fouls. And since then, the front line of VCU has defended him very well.
I mean, they can't even get handoffs off right now.
Well, it's relentless ball pressure. They're switching everything on the perimeter, dribble handoffs and ball screens, so there's no airspace.
Nice catch by Anderson, who puts it in.
That was the first time seeing VCU give up a post feed. Nice job by BC getting the ball to Anderson.
And a turnover here by Juvonte Reddic. 18-point lead for VCU. Lonnie Jackson checks in. Travion Graham comes back in, replacing Melvin Johnson for the Rams. Anderson has 11. Hanlon has 11 for BC. 3 players in double figures for VCU. Reddic, Johnson, and Brandenburg. How do you prepare for a team like VCU in practice?
That's a good question. You know, the main thing is, I wouldn't even think about putting 6 defenders out there just to simulate the ball pressure you're going to play against versus VCU.
Good take by Alex Dragovic. Quickly the other way as Reddic puts it in with the left.
And that's Reddic running the floor. He beat everyone down the court. Nice look.
The defense by Weber. Moving the feet. Hanlon goes into the body of Mo Ali Cox.
Strong move by Hanlon getting to the rim. But when you talk about Weber's ball pressure, to me, he's the best on-the-ball defender in the game. Maybe Marcus Smart is the only other guy that stands out in terms of guarding the basketball, ball pressure. Aaron Craft is up there. But in terms of disrupting, causing turnovers, speeding you up, I'd have to give it to Weber. But Kraft is certainly up there.
It's funny, I was about to say that Weber, to me, is the best on-ball defender I've seen other than Aaron Craft, because Aaron Craft is the best one I've ever seen.
Aaron Craft is certainly up there. I mean, it's a fair point, but I think Weber's impact on the game defensively is more impactful because of the fact that he gets deflections, he steals from behind, and he's the epitome of this havoc philosophy.
I almost wonder if he's kind of a product of the system, in the sense that he can take more chances, because that's what this system is all about.
But
it's creating turnovers.
It's a good point. And, you know, talking to Shaka Smart, he said Weber is the epitome of havoc because of his relentless energy, his ability to pressure the ball and not get tired.
Travion Graham finishes on the other end. By the way, as we're talking about Aaron Craft, of course, with Ohio State, big news out of Michigan is that Mitch McGary underwent back surgery. He could be lost for the rest of the season.
That's a huge blow to them. Here's a guy who was a huge part of their front line and All-American candidate, done for the year.
A large reason why they went all the way to the national championship last year, where they lost to Louisville.
And with him and Glenn Robinson III, they certainly had a chance to get back there, as talented as a core group as you can find in the country.
Burgess, the pull-up, short. Hanlon tries to chase it down, out of bounds, will stay. VCU basketball. 53-35, under 8 to play here in Brooklyn. VCU leads Boston College. DirecTV game summary, 20 turnovers for Boston College. That is a new season high. Of course, it's forced by the havoc of VCU. Rob Brandenburg leading the way with 13 points. Justin Kutcher alongside Tariq Turner. And Tariq, we know about havoc. We hear about it. When you see it, it's a whole other story.
It really is. I mean, watching it live, it's just amazing the kind of pressure that they apply for 40 minutes, and there's no drop-off. They play 10, 11 guys and get out in the open court. They score off their defense, and what they do is they make you play fast, and they trap you, they run and jump you, and before you know it, they're out to 18, 20-point lead. They lead the nation in turnovers forced, they lead the nation in steals, and they kill you by the fact that they score off those turnovers. That's what makes them such a dominant team.
They average 20.2 turnovers forced per game. They have forced 20 turnovers on the night. They lead the nation in steals per game at 13. They've got 10 so far tonight. And there is still 7:58 to go. A good effort by Joe Rayhan. Tried to go for the steal. He comes up a bit gingerly.
And no one wants to run into Graham. Graham is a freight train for a reason. That contact will be felt. BC still playing the 2-3, but they're pressuring the ball a little bit more.
Shot clock down to 9. Weber forces up the shot. It's kept alive. Weber has it. Graham for 3. In and out. Rebound, Brandenburg.
And those extra possessions just kill you. Not only the steals, but the offensive rebounds. A fresh shot clock for VCU, and the energy continues to spread throughout the team.
As if you're not tired enough going up against the defense when you're on offense. Now you got to defend it this whole time. Weber, the jump stop, puts up the runner.
And that's his game, getting into the lane and finishing. Really good pull-up game, using his speed and quickness.
Those are the first 2 points of the game for Juvonte Weber. Hanlon tried to leave it off. Another turnover. Brandenburg doesn't have numbers. Hangs in the air, and the putback by Reddic.
And that's all effort. Reddic runs the court, but again, defensively, they get the steal and turn it into offense. Reddic running the floor. He's been dominant in the second half.
Odio couldn't get to the ball for the pass, and the turnover.
When they're out in the open court, they're hard to stop. The athleticism, the ability to finish at the rim, and then a man-child Reddic with the anticipation follows it up.
Let me ask you this question. We saw St. John's beat Columbia in game 1 of this triple header. What would you think of the matchup, St. John's against this VCU team?
You know, I think it would be interesting because they're both deep, they're both athletic, but St. John's is not as far ahead as VCU is. They play a better defense. They have a better zone offense right now. I think St. John's, the question for them is, can they score in the half court? They have the athletes, but VCU has a better control of the transition game and the half court.
I'd be curious because St. John's is a team that loves to get up and down. This type of play forces you to get up and down. And I'm sure there'll be turnovers, but they have guys who can handle the ball. They have length and athleticism to match up against VCU.
Very similar teams in terms of the depth, the athleticism, and you know, I just think at this point in the season, they have better shooters on VCU's team from the 3.
I agree. The corner 3 is good.
And this is one of them. This is a freshman, one of Shaka's favorites. He comes into the game, first possession, and launches a 3 with no hesitation.
Hanlon up in the air, gets it off to Odio for the dunk.
Good penetration by Hanlon, who's been more aggressive off the dribble.
Brooks for 3 again. Back of the rim. No conscience whatsoever. Hanlon just threw it up, and there's a follow by Ryan Anderson.
Hanlon continues to attack the rim. Good things will happen. Even if he misses it, it caused the defense to collapse. Anderson comes in with the follow-up.
And a foul will be called here against Odio.
Good penetration by Hanlon, draws the defense, and nice assist And then another job by Hanlon penetrating. He misses it, but Anderson with the follow-up. Anderson's been quiet in this second half, but if he can get into the paint and finish, they still have a chance to cut into this lead.
You're a glass half full guy, aren't you?
5 minutes left. They still have some time. I mean, it's not looking good, but you know, VCU is a team that's so relentless. They're not going to let up.
Oh, what a shot there by Melvin Johnson, hanging up in the air. 12 points now for the sophomore from the Bronx, and a foul against Jaquan Lewis.
Good body control, nice up and under by Johnson, who has a scorer's mentality, can shoot the three and finish at the basket.
9 fouls against VCU, 1-on-1 here for Olivier Hanlon. Hanlon, 13 points, 9 for 11 at the free throw line. It's funny, I can remember growing up watching Michael Jordan play, and he would average 30 points a game, and you'd say, man, that was a quiet 30 some nights, because he'd go to the free throw line, end of the game, and hit 9, 10 in a row.
Yeah, those are only a few guys that can have a quiet 30.
Lewis, the kick out. Graham, the corner three is good.
Lewis with the dribble penetration, goes away from the ball screen, draws the defense. Nice kick out for the three.
65-39. VCU leading here in this finale of the triple header at the Barclays Center tonight. Hanlon's three, no good. Brooks out of bounds. VCU ball with 4:01 to play.
Nothing's going to change for VCU. They're going to continue to play fast and pressure the ball. And the freshman Lewis, who plays a lot of big minutes, he's a big part of the future of this program. A lot of upside. The staff is really excited about him. The way he plays up-tempo, can pressure the basketball and make good decisions in the half court.
Under 4 to play here in the ball game. Brooks. Talk about a scorer's mentality, man. Graham has it stripped on the way up. Brooks bobbled the pass, step back for three.
Well, it's such a luxury as a young player to have that kind of green light. Brooks, who's barely even played, has already attempted 4 threes.
Hanlon draws another foul. He'll go back to the free throw line for 2, but his team trails 65-39. Friday, it's a showdown between 2 of the most explosive offenses in the country as 13th-ranked Oklahoma State takes on 8th-ranked Missouri in the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. Coverage begins Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern only on Fox. 65-39, VCU leading Boston College. And time now for our Land Rover player of the game. It is the big guy, Juvonte Reddic for VCU.
Now, he's been great all game. The high motor, active on the glass, finishing at the rim. When he scores at least 13 points and 8 rebounds, they win the game. That's been the story of the game as far as his energy impacting the game on both ends of the court.
And VCU looking like they're going to move to 3-1 against the ACC this year, which will be the first time in school history that they will have beaten 3 ACC teams in one season. Both teams out of Virginia and Virginia Tech. They lost to Florida State, but here they are leading Boston College 65-39 with Olivier Hanlon at the free throw line.
And I can tell you, most of these guys on VCU, they play with the chip on their shoulder. When they play against a Virginia or a Virginia Tech, you know, high major programs in the ACC, they weren't recruited by those guys for the most part, and they feel like, hey, they have something to prove, and that carries over onto the court.
1 for 2 at the line. VCU was picked preseason #1 in the A-10. Burgess blew out of control, turns it over.
ball pressure by VCU. Nothing's changed in terms of them denying the wings and making it hard for penetration to get to the paint.
Hanlon, offensive foul. Guess who drew it? Juvonte Reddic.
And again, he turns you over. Either he steals or he beats you to the spot and forces you into playing out of control. You know, Hanlon hasn't played his normal game. A lot of it has to do with the pressure that he's faced versus Weber.
A foul called here against Eddie Odio.
His third, team 7th.
That is the team's 7th foul, 1-on-1 here as we look at VCU's next 5 games. January 3rd against Stony Brook, the 9th, George Mason. That'll be a battle of the bands. GW on the 14th, Duquesne and Dayton. We show you VCU. How about BC's next 5 games? Battle of Harvard, or Battle of Boston against Harvard. Then they start ACC play versus Clemson at La Tech, home against Syracuse. Where do you think the ACC will rank this year as far as conference supremacy?
Well, I think right now there's 3 teams that stand out. Obviously, Syracuse is the best team up to this point, and then Carolina and Duke. And then it kind of drops off. I mean, I'm not sure where those other teams fit in. Certainly UVA has some players, and Joe Harris being one of the better offensive players. Pitt, Jamie Dixon is always going to be in the mix. They're more of a French team to me. You know, I think they're definitely in that top half of the conference just because of the way they play that blue-collar, hard-nosed style. And, you know, they have a good balance between interior and guard play. But, you know, I think there's only 3 teams that really stand out. And of those 3 teams, Syracuse is clearly the standout team.
And then it's Duke, because we don't know which North Carolina is going to show up on a nightly basis.
You just don't know. I mean, they beat Michigan State, and they look great. And then they come back and lose to or barely beat a team like Davidson. You know, a lot of it has to do with youth. A lot of it has to do with the fact that they haven't shot well from the foul line.
So let's see about, you said before, the Big 12, in your mind, is the best conference in college basketball right now this year.
Right now, in terms of depth, you know, you look at the top tier teams, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Iowa State's undefeated. You know, they have quality teams that are, you know, top 10 caliber teams. And I think certainly the SEC with Kentucky, if they continue.
What about the Pac-12?
The Pac-12, certainly Oregon is impressive, no question.
Arizona,
UCLA. Arizona. But I don't think they have the depth other than Arizona. UCLA, to me, is a team.
What about Stanford? They went on the road. They beat UConn. They came here, almost beat Michigan last week.
Stanford still hasn't proven enough to me yet. They haven't. You know, Johnny Dawkins does a great job, and you know, they certainly have a chance to be good in that conference. But you know, I think the standout teams out west are Oregon and Arizona. And then you obviously have the Big Ten, you know, with Michigan State. Tom Izzo, always tough to beat. Great guard play. Gary Harris, to me, the best 2-guard in the country. And Payne, one of the best frontline guys.
Wisconsin, Ohio State, of course, Michigan taking a hit, as we talked about, with Mitch McGary undergoing back surgery and potentially lost for the rest of the year. As Juvonte Reddic checks out of this game, 69-42, under 2.5 to play. I think the top 3 conferences in college basketball this year, Big 10, Big 12, and the Pac-12.
At this point in the season or just in general?
I think at this point of the season, and I think when the season is all said and done.
Well, I mean, that's a fair point. I think as we get into league play, we'll have a better idea how good these teams really are. Because, you know, this is what I call the first phase of the year. Then we go into the second phase with league play, and then obviously postseason.
Under 2 to play. Justin Kutcher alongside Tariq Turner here at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn for the Brooklyn Hoops Winter Festival. And a rebound here for Lonnie Jackson. A block by Jared Guest. VCU can slow it down. VCU, they had won 6 of the last 7. It'll be 7 of their last 8. They will move to 11-3 on the season, while Boston College will fall to 4-9 and having lost 5 of the last 6.
And I certainly think of this VCU team as a team that has enough depth and talent to go on another run, and I could definitely see them going to the Sweet 16 or deeper.
Lyles' three-pointer is short. 1 minute to go. Hanlon, short.
VCU basketball checking in for VCU number 12.
A-10 certainly a conference looking for some recognition as well. Some good teams in that conference with Dayton, St. Louis, GW. And VCU certainly is the top team in my mind.
Odio, the deep three, got it. Where was that all game long? Just the third three-pointer of the day or the night for Boston College. Now 3 for 18. Shaka Smart says, all right, let's back it off. The next time that VCU will be here in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center will be for the A-10 tournament.
Yeah, and that's why Shaka likes coming up here. He wants his team to get used to playing in this arena. Certainly in a couple of months, they'll be even better.
Off the back of the rim, the rebound comes out to Lyles. Good job by Owens getting a hand on it. And he'll take it to the hoop to finish. 69-50. VCU defeats Boston College here in Brooklyn. It has been a big day here at the Barclays Center. We thank you so much for watching all three games. St. John's, Kansas State, and VCU all victorious.